Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
I'm James.
This week, it is a normal Talking Codswallop episode in some ways, but we have teamed up with the gang at All the Horror, who are a network of people who absolutely love, first of all, podcasting, and they love horror films. And we're going to be discussing women in horror. We're really excited to talk about this because both you and I are big horror fans, aren't we?
We certainly are. I mean, I could almost say with this kind of topic, we could almost bleed into, say, like Codswallop. Get it? Horror, bleed. But yeah, I am looking forward to discussing this because what we've done that's interesting with this episode is it's not just us discussing our favourites. Oh no, we've thrown it out to the salty tadpoles and they have come back beautifully.
Yes, we definitely have got some very, very impressive answers from people and slightly long-winded answers as well, but that is perfect. That's perfect because, you know, that's less time of us having to think about stuff. So it's all good. Thank you very much. Shh. Don't let the listeners know that that's what we're doing, James. Shh.
Yeah, making them do all that. It's a bit like, we're a bit like Kanye West at a gig when he gets the crowd to do all the hard work for him.
Although I'd rather not be associated with, I think it's actually Ye now.
Look, I have no idea. I don't even like the guy's music.
No, nor do I.
The more I look at the problems with the guy, the more I just think the dude needs help.
Oh, I agree with that. I think everyone in the world is believing that as well.
He's not well. He's not a well man. So.
No, not at all. But anyway, we're not here to talk about him.
No.
And also, when we talk about women in horror, we're not talking about those stupid women who run up the stairs. First of all, I think we need to get into things that we hate. Like, it can be like the codswallop part of horror films. I don't know about you, James, but should we do it?
Why not? Let's run with the ball.
Yeah, the things that irritate us in horror films. So that can be like our codswallop this week.
I'll let you go first because I think you're pretty much I think I can guess yours is something about people running upstairs.
Yes, because I've already said it, yes.
That's a guess.
Well, I mean, that's one of them. It really, really does frustrate me when you've got this, and it is, for the most part, it is a female character, but you do get the occasional male character that does it as well. But that always runs upstairs and you're like, how the hell are you going to get out? You can't get out. And okay, if the killer's at the front door, then, you know, fair enough. But you still can't get out if you run upstairs.
This is true. Unless you've got a very, very good setup exit strategy for getting out the top of the house, it ain't going to happen. Not in this lifetime, not ever.
No, exactly. And it's like the other ones as well. And I'm using kind of maybe Scream as an example here. But, you know, with that one, I think it's the first one, but I could be wrong. It could be the second. But the girl who tries to get out of the cat flap or the dog flap.
Oh, through the doggy door. So, yeah, that's in the first one.
Yeah.
I think that's Rose McGowan's character.
It is. Yes, it is. Yeah, with her big busty boobs.
But the interesting thing I heard about that is that they said that she's actually such a slight frame, other than that part of her, that when they were trying to do the garage door bit, they actually had to like almost like glue her into the thing because she kept sliding out of it.
Oh God! Oh, that's quite interesting then. Yeah, because I know that she is tiny in compared to her boobies, but there you go. Yeah, so I think those are the main ones that really irritate me. So, James, have you got any that irritate you?
What always sort of, I wouldn't say irritates me, but it's always like the sort of like, no, in horror films, obviously you always have to suspend your disbelief, but it's like in some of my all-time favourites, like you look at the Phantasm films.
Yeah.
How the hell can an entire like town be wiped out? And like no one steps in from, say, the government or from another area to go, what the hell's going on here? You know, an entire section be wiped out of people. There's huge levels of murder, and people almost take like a back step to it. So that it's the element of saying that isn't realistic, or like you see in some films where somebody will develop the ability to deal with the situation that logically they should have no way of dealing with it all. Like they'll suddenly be able to pick up a gun and do things like that without any problem. But that's just nitpicking, because most of the time with horror, I love the stuff. I will watch it and watch it and watch it, which is weird because when I was younger it never would have appealed to me, but now I'll happily watch any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely love horror, and it's my first choice for films. The only problem that I find nowadays is because I've watched so many of them, my brain's programmed to kind of hear, like you can tell when it's going to be the scary part because of the music and whatnot, and the suspense part. So I've sort of trained my brain into not reacting. So, you know, the jump scares and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some films that do get me like that, but I can't think of them right this second, unfortunately. So like if I'm sat in the cinema or whatever, I'm sort of kind of on guard. I know that something's coming. So I don't know if I get the true effect of a horror film nowadays.
It's kind of gone weird though with horror because it went from being sort of horror stuff to you do have the parody films now, which make the interesting crossover between Scream and Scary Movie.
Yes.
Which I find interesting. And then and I sent this to Gemma as a joke, but you even have porn parodies.
Yes.
Because I thought there's got to be a porn parody. So I thought, what's the obvious one? Scream has got to, I've never seen it, but I was like, it's got to surely have one. So I typed in Scream parody. That's what came up. So I sent the box cover of her doing the normal Scream thing, but it looked close enough to be the real Scream sort of poster, doesn't it? It's quite interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And because I know James's sense of humour, he just popped the picture in and said, let's just do this for women in horror.
Let's review this one.
Yeah. And it wasn't like there was no laughter or anything like that after, but I was just like, no, James, no.
Not going to happen.
Not that I'm a prude. I mean, I'm more than happy to, do those kind of films as well.
You could start an entire new section of celluloid codswallop.
The really after hours.
The after dark stuff. No children can tune in. No one can listen to it around the kids.
Oh, let the kids listen, and they all need an education. So, whatever. So the topic-wise that we've chosen, so obviously on the basis of it being women in horror, even not horror.
In horror.
Yes, women in horror. That's the posh way of saying horror.
Oh, you've had a stroke.
Well, so we decided between the two of us that we're going to do a top 5. I did suggest top 10 originally.
The idea was top 5 until, in this true spirit of horror, Gemma got a can of gasoline and poured it, or petrol as we say over here, and poured it right over that idea, set it on fire. Left me good, but I thought it was 5.
Yeah. Well, no, because I did, if you remember in our chat, I did say, let's do a top 10 women in horror. Yeah. And then you said, no, let's make it 5. And so I said, are you sure? And then you said, yeah, and I thought to myself, right, okay, that's no problem. We'll do 5, and then I put out the messages across social media for our salty tadpoles to join in, who I called listeners earlier, and James didn't pick up on. So bad Gemma, but so we did all do 5, apart from me, who couldn't remove 5. So I've done 10.
But it's all good. You use what I commonly call the Joanne School of Numeracy.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I'm dyslexic for a reason, folks. I can't count to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I can do that.
Good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good, you counted to 10. Again, 5 was completely eradicated and squashed into the dirt, but hey, it's all good.
Absolutely.
You know, you called one of our episodes Herding Cats.
I did, our 200th
How can herding cats be between 2 people?
No, I was definitely herding cats on that episode.
Oh, yes.
Oh dear. So I think we should have a quick catch up and see.
Yes.
Has there been any fun things that have happened this week, James?
not desperately. Although on a fun point, I did get to see my dad last weekend. That was really good. We had a really nice meal. Went out on Sunday, so that went well. And yeah, that was just really nice. We had a good day. The weather was great because it had been a bit possibly iffy, but we just had a really good day basically. And a very nice meal at a Turkish restaurant. Just nice time. So that was good. That was a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of food is Turkish food? Because I'm not sure if I've ever had it, so...
It's a lot of it's sort of like you'd be getting a mixture of sort of vegetable and meat-based dishes, lots of nice levels of spices, things of that nature. I've probably not delved perfectly into real kind of, streamlines of Turkish dining.
Yeah.
But it's generally sort of like, if you can think sort of clay-baked sort of dishes, things like that, it's nice stuff. And they do brilliant coffee. Strong, very strong, but brilliant coffee.
Yes. For those of you who may be new listeners, James has got normally, you know how people try to get blood out of veins? Well, it's actually coffee out of veins for James.
Yeah. I don't, blood no longer travels through this body. I'm 100% pure caffeine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually thinking of, getting sponsorship from Red Bull.
Oh, or Monster, because I quite like Monster.
Okay, we can try either, or I could mix them together.
Monster Ball.
Yeah, I think my heart had stopped working, but it just explode.
But only the sugar-free ones. Although I am thinking that I need to kind of rein it in a little bit now, because I think I might be having to go to the dentist soon because of energy drinks, like the Monster ones and stuff. So, and I haven't been. It's terrible actually, because I realised the other day, because I don't tend to go to the dentist unless I've got a problem.
Okay,
and, yeah. So, I think the last time I went was about 6 years ago.
That's pretty worrying. Yeah. I would suggest you do get to the dentist. I mean, like on the caffeine front, long-time listener and guest on our wonderful show, Lyndon, did once get me to. I think you might have told this on the show that he had me doing a turbo coffee, where you made proper coffee in a coffee machine, and then put a tablespoon of instant coffee in it. For me to drink. It was not bad. Got to be honest. I just remember his response of, you like this? And I was like, yeah, I love it. But if I drink too much, I can tell I'm going to have a migraine, so I couldn't have too much of it. But it was nice. Had a good kick to it. And I also sometimes did a coffee with a Pepsi chaser, which I know obviously you and Dre will approve of, no doubt.
No. Pepsi sucks still. Pepsi sucks.
How
Although
dare you?
Although I like the taste of coffee, so maybe with Pepsi it would be all right, because the coffee taste is quite overpowering. So hopefully,
you could also try. I'll give you one more, because we are obviously getting to different territory than what we should be discussing. But the one thing I did try was something that a bodybuilder made called hyphy mud, and it was basically you get instant coffee, pour Pepsi. Or Coca-Cola, mix it up and drink that. That'll give you the power kick you need.
That sounds like heart palpitations waiting to happen, to be honest. And the sweats.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I haven't slept since 2001, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm laughing, but that is actually true probably as well, isn't it? Oh dear. So, and how is your dad as well? Because I know your dad's been not very well.
He's not doing too bad. When I checked up with him, he's a lot more improved than he was, because he'd had shingles, so that seems to have generally pretty much gone. So yeah, he's feeling okay. I think the lasting thing is it leaves you tired, and it does take time to get over. But he's getting better. That's the main thing. But anyway, how are you? How's your family all doing?
Yes, well, thank you. I just realised something that we ought to address as well, the fact that we had a week off last week as well. So 15 minutes into the episode, I'm like, mine and James's work life has just been a bit on the nutty side of the last 3 weeks. It's been a tad
busy.
Yeah.
Tad busy.
Yeah, or 3 years or whatever it's been. But it feels my mum said to me, because she had to do a COVID test today. She's fine and she hasn't got it, so it's all good. Yeah, she just was feeling really under the weather at the moment. So she just wanted to make sure. And I came out of my route because I went through how to do it with her, because it was one of her first times of having to do it. and she said, I came out of my room after like doing loads of things with work, and she said, oh yeah, it's only been half an hour, the results aren't, like as in the test hasn't properly finished yet, it's not even half an hour yet. And I was like, oh my God, it feels like I've just been in there for 2 hours.
Heck.
Yeah, I did so much in that half an hour that it was absolutely ridiculous. So, yes. So apologies that we didn't have an episode last week, but to make up for it, we are doing an episode this week.
Absolutely. So let's park the test that has been work, and let's go with the fun madness that is horror.
Yeah. Well, before I do, I'm just going to actually discuss how my week's been, because I've only moaned about work so far. And
right. Sorry, you didn't give us a positive thing, did you? Give us some positivity.
No, I can't even remember it. Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
It was that positive that it's blank from your mind. Wow.
Yeah, no, I've been fine. So I may or may not have purchased some merch for our Salty Tadpoles, which is
nice.
Quite exciting. So James, I'll send you a picture of it. There was an offer on with a company that make badges, and what I've done is I've made some pin badges. So it's round it's actually the shape of the logo kind of thing, and so you should be seeing on social media very soon after this episode that, when they arrive and whatnot, that they are for sale. So hopefully
I'm liking it.
Yeah, anything that we kind of make on that is going to go towards the show as well. So we are working on things, and also another thing that we're doing this year as well. Is going to be a little bit more with YouTube as well. So if you've got a YouTube account, could you type in Talking Codswallop Podcast and follow us and click subscribe? Because that would be absolutely amazing, because we are definitely going to be doing oh my God, I can't speak today. We're definitely going to be doing a lot more with that, aren't we, James? So we
certainly are. You can see my scary mug.
Yes. And my equally scary face too.
Not possible.
Oh, and we recorded for another YouTube channel as well, didn't we, last week?
We did. We cheated on we cheated on our original and went on another channel.
We certainly did. A little bit of cross promotion. So Dre, who's been a guest on our show, he invited us to come onto his YouTube channel. So he hasn't said when that is coming out yet, but it should be out hopefully soon, and we'll let you know when it's out. So in
fact, you can see my scary visage on that. So
yeah, and mine. I'm not sure how my video came out, because I kept looking at myself and I didn't like it. So
well, there is the cool picture of you trying to eat a hamster, but anyway.
Yes, eat my muff. That's all I'll say.
Filth, such filth. I mean, from Joanne, I'd expect that, but not you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I do apologise. I am the innocent one. I'm sure something else has happened this week, but you know what? I'll leave it for a normal episode, because this week we need to focus on our... We
do. I know exactly what I'm going to list as Codswallop for the next episode.
Well, that's good then.
And I think you know too. Anyway.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure I'll find out next week.
You will.
So this week, I put out on social media, on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, where you can find us at Codswallop Pod. Basically, I'm trying to get you to all, follow us. Just follow us down a dark street. Follow us, whatever.
Yeah. Come on, people. Put in the effort.
Please.
Do it.
If you're listening to this episode and you've just clicked on a link, also subscribe to the podcast, because we need your numbers.
We do. I need your numbers too. Come on. Help a brother out.
Come on, we're working bloody hard at this.
Yeah.
So I put out on social media at Codswallop Pod for our upcoming episode, James and I will be teaming up with All the Horror, which I said in the intro that they are a network of people who do have podcasts and they absolutely love horror. A great bunch of people.
The clue is in the title.
Yes, exactly. No, shut up.
If you haven't got it by now, people, I'm worried for you.
But they come from all walks of life with regards to like their podcast. So it's not just film reviewed ones. It's, there's book podcasts and, us and whatever, whatever the fuck we come under.
I can't even describe it to people and I'm on it. What are you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm exactly the same. So anyway, they're a great bunch of people, and so you can find them. It's on Twitter. It's at All the Horror, I believe. So I will need to double check that, but I'll put it in the link in the bio. Sorry. Anyway, so this week we're discussing, or this month, sorry, we're discussing women in horror. To be part of the show, comment below with your top 5 favourite women in horror. Well, by Monday 31st UK time, blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously, this is, spoiler alert, this is Wednesday. We were supposed to be recording this on Monday, but again, we've been a bit busy, sorry.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah. And the reason why, because All the Horror used to be just a October thing. So it was 31 days of horror. They would release an episode, obviously one per day over the October break, or October month, should I say. But they're kind of branching out and looking at different things over different months. So you may hear another one next month. You never know.
Because clearly they were aiming for the Halloween edge for October.
Yeah.
But for us recording today, it's Groundhog Day, baby.
Oh, yeah. It's Groundhog Day, baby. It's Groundhog Day, baby. It's Groundhog Day, baby.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. One of my all-time favourite films.
Do you know what? We really need to do a movie review on that one.
Yes.
I don't know why there's so many classic films out there that we haven't done it.
That's true. That's true.
And bloody Back to the Future as well.
Money.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh dear. You wouldn't believe, Salty Tadpoles, that both me and James were really, really grumpy before we started this episode, would you?
We were incredibly grumpy. Yes, we were not having the best of days.
No.
But yeah, as you can see, we pulled it all together. I mean, I'm high as a kite on drugs, but it's all good. It's all good. When the down comes, oh man, ooh.
And I may or may not be drunk.
Yeah.
I'm not drunk.
You've just got to guess which are we.
So I'm going to start us off with our answers from the people from Twitter. So, because we did have some incredible answers, but the Facebook ones are a little bit on the longer side because obviously characters are less on Twitter. So Melissa at the Brook Reading Pod, she said, this is going to be hard to narrow down to just 5. That's James's fault, Melissa, not mine.
Yeah, I'm just a harsh man.
You really are. You really are.
Taskmaster.
I'm not sure if this is in any particular order, but obviously I'll read it as she's written it. So Jamie Lee Curtis is her first one. Deborah Hill, an integral producer of Halloween with Carpenter as well. Mm-hmm. Elvira, Sissy, it says space with a K at the end, so I'm not sure.
SpaceX. Sissy SpaceX.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that person. Do you know who they are?
Yeah, Sissy SpaceX she's probably, I'm sure it is, she's probably best known for Carrie. She was in Carrie.
Yes.
I'm absolutely sure it was her, but let's just check. Carrie. She was Carrie.
Fantastic. Brilliant. And her final one is Neve Campbell, who makes an appearance quite often on this list as well. Because, she's a classic scream, at least, isn't she? She's a scream of a girl.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she is.
And then we got the Bitchin' Boutique. So they are, again, another podcast, a very, very good podcast. Only 5 in question mark. Again, James's fault.
No, it's all Gemma's fault. She lied to me.
Okay, so, and again, I may accidentally butcher a couple of names, so I do apologise if I do that, but, you know, it's the Gemma done fuck up at the end of the day. Gemma done fucked up my own Gemma done fucked up then, did you notice?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the time when Gemma done fucked up her own name. So it's Gemma and...
Gemma done fucked up. All right, so I think it's Lena Quigley.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay, well, you can Google that person then, because I'm not sure either. Because she's a sweetheart and one hell of a pro, is what she said. Come on, James. It's Linnea.
Oh, I found her. Let's have a look. Yeah. She's in Night the Demons. Yes, and sorry to... Yeah, I know who she is.
Go on, say who she is then.
Lynn Quigley, she was in... Generally, it's sort of like B-movie horror stuff. But yeah, she's good. She was in, I know her from, definitely from Night of the Demons. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I remember that. And she was in, and I think she had some involvement with Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Cool.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay, cool. And also not going to bypass the fact that instead of B-movie, you said boo movie then.
You know, it's all good. Ooh.
Terry McMinn and Marilyn Burns, the original Chainsaw Chicks. Mm-hmm. Jamie Lee Curtis, because Laurie Stroud forever. At Toni Collette. And Toni Collette.
At Toni Collette. We're reaching out, Tony. Talk to us, darling.
Yes, if you ever want to be on the show, Toni Collette, you're more than welcome. Because why not? She's got an Oscar, though, is what she's saying there. And finally from Twitter, we've got the wonderful J. Ray, who hasn't made any comments about James's hair. So I'm a little bit disappointed with you, J. Ray, but, you know.
It's because J. Ray knows how good it is.
Yes, he's definitely got hair envy, hasn't he? Although he's got a fine mop of hair as well himself. He said, sort of behind the scenes that he's not a massive horror fan, but he said that what comes to mind right away is Christine from Drag Me to Hell, which I really like that film. So, have you seen that film?
I haven't. I know what it is, but I've never actually got around to seeing it. So I'll have to give that some time, I think.
Okay. So, would you like to start with the Facebook ones?
Yes, in preparation for this, I have been drinking lots of warm liquids and lemon and honey because there is a lot to get through to prepare my vocal cords for this. So, without further ado, I never know which it is. Let's give it a shot.
It is
ado. It's ado, right? Yes. Further ado, right? So,
like I got
God, black lace. Ooh. Right. Yeah, we talk about horror, the real horror. I have actually seen one of the Black Lace people in person opening a shop somewhere. But anyway, I digress.
Oh, amazing.
Not really, no. You don't. Anyway.
Go on.
Yeah. Any chance of sleep has now been completely obliterated by that memory. But anyway, so here we go. So Facebook.
Yes.
We got a very good response. So Owen Edmonds said, I'm not a major horror fan, but Elena Ripley from the Alien series is one of the baddest ass people in films, regardless of gender. I agree. Very good point. Sharon Hutchings put Naomi Watts in the ring.
You don't have to read all of them.
Oh, no, I intend to.
Okay, no, that's absolutely fine.
The gauntlet is down, yeah.
If you need a break at any point, though, you're more than welcome to just tag me in, okay?
Yeah. What'll happen is she's clearly Gemma's fearing for my, I'm getting infirm, so she'd just have a nice, warm, sugary drink to keep me going. So yeah, Sharon Hutchings said, Naomi Watts in the Ring, a film I have seen, but so long ago.
Yeah.
She worked out the curse and knows what to do to avoid it, unlike all the men who don't seem to have a clue.
Yes.
The question is, though, Sharon, the question is for the ring, is the original better?
That's a very good question, because I've not actually seen the original. And I think that I want to try and find it now that we're discussing it, and actually try and find it, because I like the Ring, and I also agree that Naomi Watts is brilliant. But then also she kills quite a lot of other people, so
Can't make it on without breaking some eggs.
Wow, that's a good point. And they're strangers. She doesn't care. It's not her son and her anyway, is it? So that's the main thing.
Up next, we have the one and only Jamie Westwood, who has outdone himself on this list. I like it. So I'm terrible at putting these things into particular order, so just going to list my favourites. So Laurie Strode from Halloween, excellent dude, excellent choice, the best, quite simply.
Yep.
A character that had many twists and turns with different storylines, but all delivered perfectly. And she went from a scared teenager to a badass woman who takes no shit, probably because she was portrayed by an amazing actress in Jamie Lee Curtis. Number 2, Reagan Mcneil from The Exorcist, an incredible character, incredible acting, scary as hell, and still stands up today. Great character development in the sequel movie and TV series. I'm surprised you put that, Jamie, because I love the Exorcist films. I've never seen the sequel because allegedly the Exorcist 2 is terrible, so I'm kind of surprised you put that. But I'd be intrigued to know, if you make contact with us, how bad is the sequel? I've still never brought myself the guts to watch the sequel, though I love the third one. Carrie.
Before we move on, I was going to say, Jamie obviously can give his answer to that, but I have actually seen all of the Exorcist films.
Exorcist.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time. They definitely are not as good as the original, but there's good parts and bad parts within all of them, I think, to be completely honest. And, equally some creepy parts, but you can also see that they're just trying to make some extra money out of it, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. So the sequels, prequels, whatever they were classed as, then they're not fantastic. But, the original definitely is, so.
Which always interesting with the third one. It was basically one of these films that they basically acted like the second one and never happened, so they kind of like directly worked from the first one. But I do like it, especially George C. Scott is shouting he's not in the file.
Yes.
But anyway, I digress. So Carrie was Jamie's third option. I love this film a lot, and her progression throughout the movie, going from a timid, scared girl to fucking shit up, is just amazing. Props to the remakes. I've not seen either. I enjoyed it and thought Chloe Grace Moretz did a great job, but nothing beats Sissy Spacek's performance.
Yes.
I've never ever. I know what this film is, but I've not seen it. So Jamie's listed Baby Firefly from House of a Thousand Corpses and Others.
Yes.
He says, that Rob Zombie, gets a lot of shit for these movies, but I always enjoyed them, especially Devil's Rejects, which I think I have seen that. I love Baby. She's fucked up, plays on her sexuality, and I love the way Sherry Moon portrays her. Just awesome and evil.
Yeah.
Number 5. Again,
we can talk about things in between, James.
I'm sorry. I'm just powering through these.
I know you're getting excited, but it is a podcast at the end of the day, and you don't have to just talk and read stuff out. I was going to say, with regards to Sherry Moon, and she's actually on my list as well. With regards to her character, she's the blonde one who's a bit psychotic, very cute. But so if you've seen A House of a Thousand Corpses or Devil's Rejects, then she's pretty much the main female character in that, and she's also the wife of Rob Zombie as well.
Yep, she is Rob Zombie's wife, and she's actually going to be playing in the new series, The Making of the Monsters, which is made by Rob Zombie, which obviously it does help, I guess, when you sleep with the director. Yeah. But she's going to be playing Lily, so.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I like Rob Zombie. I love him as a musician, and I love him as a director of films as well. So, yeah, I think he's done some good things with what he's created. So, but anyway, we don't talk about him because he's not a woman. So, unless he identifies as one, and then carry on.
Yep, I can't be dragged into that part of the conversation. It's more than my life's worth. If I say the wrong word, curtains. So, number 5 is Nancy Thompson from Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, I agree on this. One of the original and great. I love her development throughout the film. An amazing heroine from the original. Jamie said he just loves it. And there's a special mention. Oh, yeah, good one, Jamie. I like this. Special mention to Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4 and 5, especially in Halloween 5. Danielle Harris' performance is incredible for anyone, let alone for a child acting a role that couldn't have been easy to portray, especially at that age. No, I agree. Good choice, dude. Yeah. Good choice. Gary Nopper Cesaro, who we've had on as a guest.
He was last week's guest, in fact.
He's given us in no particular order, and I, again, agree with quite a few of these on the list. Jessica Harper in the original Suspiria as Susie Banyan. Linnea Quigley in pretty much anything as a proper scream queen. We touched on discussing her earlier. Barbara Crampton. Yeah. I love Barbara Crampton. She's brilliant for the same reason. Jamie Lee Curtis was one of the original scream queens in movies like Terror Train. Haven't seen it, but Lyndon and Jen really like that film. Jen in particular.
Okay.
The Fog.
I've seen Prom The Fog. Night. Yeah, and Prom Night as well. And
the Halloween franchise. I live The Fog, remember. You've seen some of the pictures that I've taken when it's been foggy here.
Yeah.
Beginner I could produce words, wouldn't it? Jamie Lee Curtis' mum, Janet Leigh, yes. Forgive me, was Marion Crane in the original Psycho, yes. A role that ends in the first third of the movie, but the shower scene of her death lives on over 60 years later. So iconic that a single still from it, and you automatically know the film. And it's really cool in Halloween H2O that they kind of cross paths in that film.
Okay, but stop whispering, James.
I'm not whispering. There's honourable mention for Heather Nancy Thompson Langenkamp for Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 3, Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott in the Scream franchise, and Adrienne King from the original Friday the 13th, and Part 2 briefly.
I love how you're putting emphasis on the words, but you're now talking quieter.
Yes, but I'm sure they can still hear me.
Well, I can just about say, come on, speak up a little.
Gary clearly had a lot of time on his hands because he's written more for us. He's put, you might also want to try and track down a short film entitled What Happened to Her, which explores the fascination of how women are often glorified when playing corpses on screen. It's a haunting 15-minute or so and directed by Christy Guevara Flanagan. It uses film dialogue as well as the actresses used to narrate their experiences being on slabs, immersed in lakes, etc. There's also an updated version of Keir Largenison's excellent book House of Psychotic Women, which delves into women in horror and how they can often be portrayed, for better or worse, as the villain of the piece. That gives you some food for thought and things to chew on. I'm trying to not whisper as much.
Good.
I do my best. I'm not exactly sure how I can be quiet. I'm like eating the bloody microphone here. I'm like you eating the microphone in the last thing. But it's when I go quiet, I'm bringing the emo. I'm getting people to listen and really think about things.
Yes, but look how low the green bar is going, James. Even my whisper is higher.
It's still moving quite high on the bar. Okay. So it's like ASMR thing. They go quiet. They're discussing stuff.
It could be. Yes.
Anyway, this is where the horror people think, what the hell have we just got ourselves into working with these two?
Well, they know we're a comedy podcast, so we're always going to be about the giggles as well. Would you like me to take on any of these?
Take the baton. Take one for the team, as they say.
Okay, well, I'll just do one then. No, I'm joking. I'll do a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, so Graham Arnold is next. He has written, horror directors have always taken a particular interest in exploring young women's adolescence. Try swallowing before actually speaking. That's basically what just happened there. I swallowed while talking, and James has muted himself, so you would have heard his reaction of ha 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 otherwise. Anyway, including iconic films like Brian De Palma's adaptation of Stephen King's novel Carrie. It has enough honesty and emotional renaissance. For me, though, Ginger Snaps continues horror's tradition of interrogating this. Oh my God, he decided to actually write every big word.
Yes.
Why
yes,
did I pick? Why did I pick this one to read?
I don't know.
This is terrible.
You clearly wanted this.
Yeah. So thanks.
This is your
Graham.
horror for the episode.
So Graham clearly has swallowed a dictionary as he wrote this down. So for me, Ginger Snaps continues horror tradition in interrogating. I ballsed up a word that was actually of interrogating this thematic territory.
Thematic territory.
That's what it said. Thematic.
It sounded like saying the matic. But anyway, keep going.
Thematic.
Thematic. Anyway, it's all good.
I'm saying the same thing as you're saying.
I don't know. I'm just hearing it differently.
I've got an accent. Thematic territory by bringing the transition from girlhood into womanhood into the realm of pure body horror. The teenage sisters, Bridget, who's played by Emily Perkins, and Ginger, is Catherine Isabel, whose strong bond fractures as the latter gets bitten by a creature they learn is a werewolf. Ginger Snaps isn't subtle about equating the transformation into womanhood with that of a werewolf, given Ginger gets her first period at the very beginning of the film, but that's part of its charm. Ginger becomes emboldened by her new power, but also reckless, creating a twisted tale of prickly sisterhood and power under the guise of a bloody werewolf film. I love it. And Graham, I think halfway through that you may have actually cut and pasted some of that. But I could be wrong.
I mean, it's... I think probably what happened is that partway through Gemma lapsed into a coma, but she fought through the sleep, Graham, and she read your stuff.
I did. So, I mean, come on. I'm regretting actually saying, would you like me to take one for the team here? Come on, Graham.
I think it was a very good thing that Graham put forward. I actually like that, but I also think Graham secretly did that on purpose because he thought you might read it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go on to Bob Christian.
Yeah, go on, power through.
So let's see if Bob's actually just as evil. I don't think he will be. Right, so Bob Christian says, in no particular order, here we go. Clarence Starling from Silence of the Lambs, fantastic
Who's
role.
Clarence Starling?
Clarice. That's a very good point.
I was just saying, what did I miss? Who the hell was Clarence? Did I zone out in that part of the film?
It's the twin sister of Clarice.
He'd be a man. He'd be a twin man. Clarence.
Again,
Oh, God, yeah, identification. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs. Fantastic role played by Jamie Foster. The chemistry between her and Dr.
Jodie.
What did I say?
Jamie. I think you know about secret relatives these people have that nobody else knows about.
Right, here we go. In no particular order, here we go. I'm going to start again. Sorry, Bob. You know how I said at the beginning that you're going to be tripping me up as a joke? You're not tripping me up. I'm tripping myself up now. I'm reading things that are not there. Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs. Fantastic role by Jodie Foster. The chemistry between her and Dr. Lecter is electric. Alice Hardy, played by Adrienne King, I think is how you say her first name, but it might be Adriana.
Adriana, I think.
Okay. In the original Friday the 13th movie franchise, for her survival to the end and going toe-to-toe with Mrs. Voorhees. There you go. Elena Ripley from Alien franchise, a total friggin' badass, Plus, the way she used the forklift suit is amazing. Laurie Strode, as you know, like I said, she does make a few appearances, so that's great because she is a badass. From the Halloween franchise, played by the brilliant Jamie Lee Curtis. Her interactions with Michael Myers are what makes these films work. Wendy, played by Shelley Duvall in The Shining. If ever there was a portrayal of a terrifying trauma on screen, it's Wendy in The Shining, which I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Yep, I'd agree with that. It's the shame that Shelley Duvall has gone slightly, should we say, off the reservation, so to speak.
Yeah, off her
in her
rocker.
later years. She's not very well, I don't think.
No, exactly. And yeah, that is a shame. So she's almost become her character, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
It's a shame.
Which is a big shame. So, right, I'm going to take Ian Shaw.
Oh, where are you taking him?
I'm going to take him to the pub.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of ciders together and then some rum.
And if you drink, just a question, Ian, if she's drinking heavily, see if you can get a pronunciation to improve.
It normally does. It normally does if I drink.
Interesting. Yeah. Cool.
It's because I don't care then. It's like now I'm caring. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're doing well though, Gemma. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
No, I know. I know you're only teasing me anyway, so it's all good. So Ian Shaw, in no particular order. And then he puts
He
one.
numbers them.
Now, Ian is a really good friend of mine, so I feel like I can pick on him as well. So it's all good. So, in no particular order, number 1, all of the ladies from the original Craft. That film was hardcore, which I agree. I really love that film. I don't know about you, James. Do you?
I've still not seen it. I've got it, but I've still not seen it. It's one of the ones for ages that I kept because I was like, this was good. And I've heard lots of good things about it, but I've not seen it. So I will have to, along with watching a lot of other stuff I need to watch, Spaced being in there, I reckon I do need to watch that. I will have to put some time aside and watch them.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we will cover the Spaced Seinfeld debate in another episode. Yes. Okay, so number 2 is Linda Blair, The Exorcist. So obviously Reagan. Jean Davis in The Fly.
Gina.
Oh, is it Gina, is it? Okay.
Gina Davis, yeah.
Gina Davis in The Fly. Rebecca
De Mornay. Yeah,
De Mornay, thank you. Rebecca De Mornay, and that she's from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I pulls up the word rocks, that's insane. And finally, his last one is Kathy Bates from Misery, which I love Kathy Bates.
I don't know if I've ever seen Misery. For a horror fan, I'm not doing well on some of these at all.
No. I actually hadn't seen Misery until a while ago. It recently, so not really a while ago, it was recently. But no, somebody in another group that I'm in was did a cosplay of I can't remember the character's name, but the one that Kathy Bates plays. And I asked her because I realised that it was something horror related, and she told me about the film, and it's a Stephen King film as well. So, and it is fantastic, and honestly, you should watch it. I got it personally off Amazon. You do have to pay for it, but it was worth it because now I can own it. So, but yeah, it's very, very good.
It is. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's always the scene that everyone knows is the kneecapping or ankle. No, it's the ankles. Isn't
ankles.
It?
Yeah, it's horrible. It is really, but also just how she is as a character, because she just seems so sweet and innocent at the very beginning, and just like a typical kind of like.
Well, she's a psychopath, isn't she?
Well, yeah, but she's not. Her character doesn't come across as that at the beginning. Mm-hmm. It's more of a friendly, like maybe slightly obsessed fan, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. And then it, like, the way that her character progresses is just like, whoa.
It's probably a level of realism, isn't it? To what somebody will be like. Yeah, that's the thing about it. Yeah, but I do remember the big thing. It was a big thing when that film came out. It's James Caan as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to dig that one out.
Yeah. And I mean, it must not have had too much of a budget really as well, because there's only 2 main characters and then, well, 3, because there's a police officer as well. So it was kind of 3 main characters and everyone else is kind of like extra parts really. So yeah.
I will definitely have a look for that one. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think the next one goes over to me. Hi, Janine. Thank you for sending the stuff in.
Yeah.
This is Jean Erica Batten, my friend, Janine, it was easier when your surname was Oldham. I'm hoping I've got your pronunciation right. So,
wait, hold on 2 seconds. James, you've got friends.
I know. It's shocking. I mean, I said that. You know, so I sounded really happy when I said that's my friend, because, you know, I'm not used to saying that word. It gets me excited, that is me having friends.
Oh.
I mean, alternatively, Janine is a figment of my imagination. So
She could be. She could be. Yeah.
Which is really worrying, which means I've interacted with somebody in the past who's not there, and I interact with her on Facebook, and she's not there. That's meta. Anyway, but Facebook meta. Anyway,
I was going to say that is actually meta. Yeah.
That is literally meta. So, Janine's given us some interesting ones. She's gone with Celine from Underworld, the Underworld films. Katrina from Sleepy Hollow. Didn't think of that one at all. I wouldn't have really thought of that as horror, but I can see your point. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's put Mina from BS Dracula. Now, I don't think she's calling it bullshit. I think she's referring to Bram Stoker's Dracula, which would be the character played by the wonderful Winona Ryder, if my memory serves me.
Oh, yes.
And that film,
that
film gets a lot of crap. But apart from, it was obviously I know why it gets a lot of crap in some respects. It's with the really weird accent from Keanu Reeves, you know, I know where the bastard sleeps thing that he tries to do that doesn't really work at all.
No.
Yeah.
Bless Keanu Reeves, though. He does get labelled with the thickness, but he is such a kind, amazing person.
He's a wonderful man.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, it's like when they do a parody thing of him on a trailer, this trailer guy, and he's going, like the trailer voice, he's going, they knew too much. And they have him going, we know too much. They went too far. He says, we went too far. He says, we went too fucking far. Whoa.
That's brilliant. But he strikes me as a person who can probably laugh at himself.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Look, do you know what I'd say to myself if I was him when they're mocking me? I'm like, I got so much money, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Call me whatever you want, baby. Megan from Dog Soldiers is also on the list, and Claudia from Interview with a Vampire. Yeah, I like good choices there, Janine. Very good.
Yeah, I've not actually seen Dog Soldiers, so need to jump on that one.
But yeah, I do. I can't believe I didn't think of Sleepy Hollow though. Maybe because I didn't think of it as too much horror, but it's a good film. I like Sleepy Hollow. You know, when Johnny Depp was a bit more respectable in the eyes of certain areas of the community, shall we say. I think he's been a bit downtrodden of late on things. Yes.
Along with his pooing wife, or ex-wife, yes.
But let's not get into that, because it's just messy. No dirty protests on this show.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not. No, I don't poo. So, James, I think what we should do is that we should go one each. So,
okay.
So if I do my honourable people first that I've added,
okay,
because I'm in no particular order, but we can see what So I'll start with 10 and work down. So when I get to 5, you join in, yeah?
Okie dokie.
Right, okay. So mine, like I said, I did have 10. So I'm going to start with my first 5, and then James is going to join me when I get to 5.
Okay. So, can you still hear me okay? I've moved the arm slightly.
Oh, yes, I can still hear you, so that's good.
Good.
And now, in a way, mine are in no particular order, apart from 4 up. So everybody on this list is highly respected. Yes. So my number 10 is Kate Beckinsale in Underworld. So, the same as your friend.
Same as Janine said, yeah.
Yeah, but also Kate Beckinsale as well, because she has done a lot of different horror films as well. And
yeah, but Bolt could be listed as horror film, or Jolt, sorry.
Yeah.
God, that was terrible. But anyway, that's not horror film, it's just a really shit action film. She's in. It's sort of like when they make the parody jokes about, I think it's in Scary Movie when they go in, have you seen, name a scary film? They go like, is it Shaq in some films? Where they go, that's not a horror film. They go, have you seen Shaq act?
I just took a sip of water at the same time. Nearly just sprayed that all over my microphone then.
Yeah, see, that's how this is where it could go wrong, Salty Tadpoles. This is how Gemma could die. I make her laugh so much, you just...
Thing is, though, I've got someone here at home with me, so I'll...
That's it, rub it in. Someone gives a shit about you. If I go, nobody will be any the wiser. I'll dead.
Care after a week.
A week? Don't lie. You give it about a month. You better. He hasn't recorded for like a month. Where is the lazy bastard?
Yeah. Definitely, you ass. Right. Number 9 is Sherry Moon Zombie. So same as Jamie, I believe it was. So she's been in Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, Lords of Salem, which is a really, really good film, and the Halloween remakes as well, to mention a few. Basically, she's Rob Zombie's wife, as I mentioned earlier. So any of the films that he's going to direct, she's going to be probably the leading lady, because they bone each other.
Yeah, and Rob Zombie doesn't want to sleep on a couch at night.
Yes, exactly. So, Toni Collette is my number 8, especially for Hereditary. Have you seen that film, James?
No.
Oh my God, you have to watch that film. I know it's going to be adding to the list of films, but there's a kid's head that gets decapitated in the film. So, it's, well, that's kind of spoiler alerts, but, it's worth
all right,
it.
I know that like decapitated children scares, going off a piece for a minute, scares Brian Quinn, but I'll handle it.
Yeah, you absolutely will handle it, but honestly, she does an amazing job in this film. So
cool.
Yeah. Neve Campbell for Scream and all of the other Scream films as well. So
what, even number 4?
Well, if she's in it, yeah.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Yeah, she got paid, so...
that's true, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd do a little twist on it, because I never said specifically that we had to stick to films. So I did a couple of authors as well. So I thought for our little, for our fans of literature, I thought, you know what, I'm going to grab a couple of them. So I've put Mary Shelley for Frankenstein as my number 6.
Very good choice.
Yes, definitely. I think, to be honest, like I said, that this list isn't particularly in any order, but, I think probably I should have put her a little bit higher up. But, and also Anne Frank. Anne Frank.
Anne Frank. Wow. Yeah. I mean, she did see horrors. So technically, we are somewhere right with it.
Oh my God, the biggest horror of all.
Yeah.
What I actually meant was Anne Rice, who is a vampire. Well, I mean, she does other things as well, but she does a lot of vampire books. Interview with the Vampire is one of them. So
yeah, she passed away, didn't she? Was it a month or 2 ago?
Yeah, I believe so.
Too long ago. Yeah. I liked her stuff. She was good.
Yeah, she was very good. So I thought I'd add a couple of authors in there as well. But yeah, I mean, without Mary Shelley, we wouldn't have Frankenstein. And let's face it. Yeah, and Frankenstein's monster. So,
well, the thing is, without someone like Mary Shelley, would you have what we consider a lot of horror?
I don't know.
You've got to think her influence. And her influence for female writers as well is so vast and large. Yeah. That, you've got to have her in the list. I mean, Frankenstein is something that I read, it's quite a long time ago. It's probably when I was a child. But it really is still one of these things that sticks with you. And film-wise, I liked, interesting again, it's like looking at what Janine said about the Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's when they did Mary Shelley's Frankenstein all around that time that Ken Branagh did.
Yeah.
I liked that kind of stuff. I thought it was because it was pretty damn close to what was on the page. So yeah, I always liked that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So what's your number 5? My number 5 is Anne Rice, not Anne.
Okay.
Not the other Anne.
Not Anne Frank. But no. Anne Frank, I mean, I can, you can level with either. Now, the problem I have on this list is that I did try and run with an order, but I could actually give a number 6. I think I'm going to be a bit sneaky and give a number 6, which will be the actress Ashley Lawrence, who played Kirsty in the Hellraiser films.
Oh, yes.
Because it only came to me so recently when we were actually, recently, I mean, literally at the start of this recording, I thought, because there's some people, and I thought, how did I miss her?
Yeah.
Because I love the Hellraiser films. The first 3 definitely, after that it got daft, but the Hellraiser films are brilliant, and her character, Kirsty Cotton, in it is just, wow, brilliant. Yeah. Real, takes no shit sort of stuff, deals with horrendous situations brilliantly, and it gets even more interesting when you read the comic books for her character in those, where she becomes, basically she becomes, the lead Cenobite. Yeah, very interesting stuff.
I didn't actually know it was it was a comic book as well.
Well, obviously it comes from Clive Barker, and it comes from his books. But yeah, they were like run-off comic book series as well, and yeah, really weird shit. Good, but weird.
Yeah, wow. I'd say I'd check that out, but I can't, because otherwise I'll start collecting them as well, and I can't do that. So, but yeah, but I agree, the films are amazing.
Now, my number 5 should be higher, really, but it gets a bit tricky because, like Jamie said, those have said it's putting it in order. But for me, it is a character I love. It is a person who plays the character that I love. It's Cassandra Peterson and the character of Elvira.
Okay.
I love Elvira as a character. For years and years I wanted to see the film after I'd seen a poster before I even knew how big it was as a film, and you couldn't get it for years. And I remember going to this VHS store, and the guy said, well, it's got a big following but we don't have it. But I just find it amazing. The film, I'm having a bad day because it's not really horror, it's comedy horror. But you put it in, put the DVD in, Blu-ray in, and it just makes me smile, keeps me happy. And I love, I've got her autobiography. I love the sort of like interested for horrors as a horror host. So yeah, brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Love
and
it.
there wasn't any other big things about her that you liked either, was there, James?
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I just I just see it as pure interest. Not that she's got amazing attributes. She has got some amazing attributes, and we'll leave it at that.
No, but good call. Yeah. She probably, if I'd have had 11, she probably would have made number 11, kind of thing. Okay, so my number 4, and I may actually pronounce this incorrectly, so I'm not sure exactly how to say her name, but James is looking it up for me while I'm trying. So it's Feroza Balak. So I'm not sure if that's quite correct, but anyway, she was one of the characters. She was the creepiest character in The Craft, and she did. You didn't have to mute yourself, James, but yeah, we're not a professional podcast. You can type. But so she's I think she's a really, really good character. She seems absolutely nuts, especially in Craft. And I love that film. And James really, really, really needs to get on that film because it's so good.
I think, looking at IMDb, it's from Turkish, and they're saying that when she was born, her father took one look at her eyes and exclaimed, Feruzi, which is Farsi for Turkey, God, I can't get words together myself. Turquoise. So I'm assuming her name would be pronounced as Feruzi, maybe?
Feruzi or Feruza, maybe?
Feruza, there you go. Feruza, that'll be it.
Okay, right. Well, we've decided that's her name anyway. So if she doesn't like it, she's going to have to just write into the podcast. Sorry about that. But anyway, I think she's an amazing actress in The Craft. She's creepy as shit, and I love her.
And she was also in one of my real favourite films, Return to Oz, when she was a little girl.
Oh, was she? I didn't know that.
She played Dorothy Gale in Return to Oz, and she was also in Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Yeah, wasn't she also in that Josh Hartnett film as well, with they were at school, the faculty? Wasn't she in that as well?
I think possibly she was, yeah. She's very, very good. Very good. And she was brilliant in American History X as well.
I've not seen that, so I can't say that. So.
And then she got stuck in the hand of Dr. Moreau. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
So who's your number 4 then, James?
My number 4 is Gloria Lynn Henry, who played Rocky in Phantasm 3. I love her just because she's a complete badass in it.
Yeah.
And I love the Phantasm film series. And she even makes a reappearance in Phantasm Ravager, but only for like a cameo role. But yeah, she's great in it because she's just a complete badass. I mean, there's loads of other cool women who are in the Phantasm films, but she just really stands out for me as being a really interesting character, and she has like nunchucks and things. So yeah, she's the only person who manages to take out one of the Phantasm spheres using a pair of nunchucks. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I really, and I know every time you say this film, and I say I really need to get on this film, I've got it. I've got all 3. Is it 3 or 4 of them?
There's 5 of them.
5 of them. Okay,
so yeah.
Yeah, so I've got all 5 of them on, like on DVD. And I just haven't. I think the problem is that I forget I've got a DVD player because I use so much of like Netflix, the streaming sites and stuff like that now, that I keep forgetting that I've actually got a DVD player and I could just plug it in. You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah, so I really do need to get on them and watch them properly. But I will. I'll make it my mission this year to do that. So, you know.
Yeah, I'd honestly, they are a bit cheesy in places, but I would recommend the Phantasm series to anybody. And for me, it holds real. The way I got into Phantasm, I know I'm sidetracking, but the way I got into Phantasm is a bit odd. I mean, I just came back from this is the telling thing. I can't actually remember exactly where I was. Something at university. I came back exceedingly drunk in the early hours of the morning. I needed to sober up. So I was in bed trying to sober up, put the TV on, and on BBC One, I think it was like 2 in the morning or something, they had Phantasm 2 on, and I was hooked. And the week after, they had Phantasm 3 on. In both instances, I came back really steaming drunk, and it was a great way of sobering up, and that's how I got into them. And I got hooked.
Well, there you go then. See? Get drunk before watching those films. Okay, so my number 3 is the wonderful, amazing, and I absolutely love her, and I actually wish that I'd made her number 1 in some ways, but there's a reason why my number 1 is my number 1. But Kathy Bates. So she's from, I know you've not seen them, but American Horror Story. She makes a regular appearance in those, and she is phenomenal. I just think she's an amazing actress.
She is.
And obviously her performance in Misery as well, and many other films as well, but especially her characters in American Horror, 'cause she brings something so sinister and creepy to her characters, and it's just like, it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love her. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Other than bending down and kissing her feet, I can't really tell her how much more I love her. So Kathy Bates, if you're listening, I really love you.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I realised, looking at my list, I've actually got 7, possibly even more. So we're now hitting, because I threw in an extra one, and then I've looked at my list again and realised I actually had 7. So
okay. Well, if you do your number 3 and then you do your honourable people afterwards.
Okay, so my number 3 would be Neve Campbell, who we've already mentioned her, and quite a few people mentioned her. For me, it's Scream. It's Sidney Prescott. That I know the best from, but obviously she was in The Craft, things like that. But I just think she was interesting because she kind of revitalised horror a bit at that point. She had been stale, but I just love her when she plays Sidney. She's very good. And she goes from, understandably being someone who's terrified, scared and freaked out to somebody who becomes the master of their own destiny, or mistress of their own destiny.
Yeah, definitely. And if I recall, she didn't run upstairs or hide under her bed either. So,
she might have run upstairs. I'm not sure, but possibly. Right. Who knows?
Well, we like Neve Campbell, so we'll let her off.
Yes, we do.
But she didn't hide under her bed or in a wardrobe. No. Or maybe she did that too. It's been a while since I've seen Scream, so yeah.
Well, mentioning people hiding wardrobes might play a part in some of my other choices.
Ooh. Okay, so my next one, so number 2, is Davik. Oh my god! I decided to pick the hardest one.
You just picked the toughest pronunciations possible. So I'm going to really make this horror for myself.
Yeah, I'm not going to actually say this actress's name because I will butcher it. So I'm just going to describe the character. So from the remake, the girl from The Ring, so the one that comes out of the well. Yeah, she is so creepy. Do you know what I mean? It's like.
Indeed, she is.
This is like I don't know how old she was when she actually did the filming and whatnot, but she looks like she's probably about 8 or 9, something along those lines. But maybe she's older. Who knows? 20-year-olds play 15-year-olds, so you never know.
And 30-plus-year-olds play teenagers, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. But just her portrayal. I mean, she never really said anything. But she was so perfectly creepy. And yeah, I just love her character. So that's my number 2.
Okay, let's check my list. So I love this woman. She is, just as a person, I think she's brilliant. It is Barbara Crampton. We've already heard her mention from the Reanimator films. I've yet to, even when some of the stuff she's done is cheesy and weird and odd, I've still loved it. And she was also in Jacob's Wife, and she was brilliant in that. Brilliant. And obviously I got to interview Mark, the writer behind that, but God, she was good in Jacob's Wife. That's the most recent sort of thing I've seen her. God, she was brilliant in it. So yeah, I just, cannot say enough about her. And she's gorgeous. So...
I'm seeing a theme.
I know it's a common thread. All the women I've chosen in this are very pretty. But anyway, that's not the point.
Okay, so my last one, my number 1, is Linda Bear. Oh, fucking hell.
Bear?
Yeah, right. Linda, guys, we're tired.
We are. We're knackered. We are really tired. It's amazing, Salty Tadpoles, other listeners, it is amazing we're actually holding this together, seriously.
Honestly, we are so tired, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so Linda Blair, who plays Reagan from The Exorcist, if anybody needed to know that. The Exorcist is, I think, one of the best horror films ever. Yeah. But also the fact that she was so young and she did all of that stuff. I almost want to find out if she had any counselling after this performance. Do you know what I mean? Because there was so many things that child had to say and do that it's almost terrifying.
Yeah, I don't think it affected her too much because I think I've heard her sort of saying, it was Mark Hamill saying he'd spoke to her about it, and she'd said, well, at the time to her, it was almost just like being on a ride or something, and she didn't really either know some of the things she was saying or just was like, well, it's not me saying it, it's the person I'm supposed to be playing saying it. So yeah.
Oh, that's all. In some ways, that's all right then. But oh my god, amazing performance though that she does. It's just absolutely incredible to see a small child. I mean, you know what our opinion is of children, but we're just it's phenomenal. It's brilliant. So so I've used the word phenomenal for 2 people there. So Kathy Bates and Linda Blair, not Bear.
Yep. And The Exorcist brings a whole new meaning to the word pea super.
Oh, yes. Oh. And crosses.
Yes. Yeah. Let's not go there, eh?
No, let's not. Okay, so your number 1.
Yes, my number 1, which is kind of like my number two. It really gets interesting on my list. So, but I went with Sigourney Weaver.
Okay.
For the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even just go with that. I'd go with, like, I know it's not horror, but I'd go with Ghostbusters as well, because there's kind of the supernatural, ghosty stuff with that. But certainly for when she played Ellen Ripley, she was just, she went from sort of being just like a normal-ish kind of person to just being a complete and utter badass.
Yeah.
And dealing with some horrific stuff. And of course, interesting, talk about Alien and Sigourney Weaver links into my first sort of meeting. Well, it does link into my first meeting at the time when I met our other co-host, Joanne, because she's a huge fan and she dressed up as Ellen Ripley. So yeah, it all. That was the first costume I saw her in. The first costume I saw her in was Batwoman. But yeah, she dressed as Ellen Ripley. Very cool. Headscarf as Ellen Ripley is freakishly good. And she even does Ellen Ripley from different stages. Like number one, number two, good. But yeah, the character and the whole way Sigourney Weaver played the part, you can watch it again and again.
Yeah.
And each one is different, brings something that's a bit more different and interesting. And I've got to say, I can enjoy every time she played Ripley, even though some are not as good as others. Like number 3 and 4 are a bit iffy, but I can still dig them and enjoy them.
Yeah.
I find little bits that are really good in the way she portrays the part.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I was pausing then because I wasn't sure if you're going to go on for more.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good.
So who are your honourable mentions? I think there's 1 or 2 more, isn't there?
My honourable mentions are the mother of horror and the daughter of horror. It's got to be Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis. Because if you think about it, without Janet Leigh's take, Marion Crane in the Psycho film,
yep,
we probably wouldn't have maybe seen like the way they did Scream, without killing off a well-known actor or actress at the start. We wouldn't have seen the growth of the horror genre, and then years later on to have Jamie Lee Curtis, playing Laurie Strode in the Halloween films. I just think this is, to me, they've got to be a joint number 1 or joint honourable best mention you can have, because I think we owe so much to the pair of them.
Yeah.
For the horror series, the horror films, and the fact that, again, the thing, okay, H2O didn't do great as a Halloween film, but when they cross paths, that was just so cool for me in that film. That sort of made, for any bad parts of the film, it makes up for it. They even have the car from Psycho in it, and they even have lines from Psycho and stuff, but other than just talking to each other. Brilliant. The other honourable mention I'd throw in that I didn't think of was Gina Davis for The Fly, but honestly, to me, it cannot get better than Jamie Lee Curtis and Janet Leigh. It really can't.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that as well. But my list was never ending anyway, so I couldn't add any more people. Although I do remember you kind of mocking me about having 10, and I believe that you actually have 10 as well. So
I don't think so.
Count your number 1 as 2
8
people.
Maybe 8, 9, 8 and 9.
All right.
Anyway, yeah. It's all good. It's all good. We're all love here. I don't know my numbers. Clearly,
we can only read them in German.
Yes.
Yes.
And even then, it probably won't go very well.
Right. Okay. Well, I think you know what that is a spot on way to end this episode. So
I would agree.
Yeah. So if there's any new people listening to this episode, then welcome. I mean, I've said that at the beginning, hopefully, because, it'd be a bit weird to say at the end. We are a comedy podcast, but we're not this. Well, we are this week as well.
Yeah.
We're just really tired people.
Yeah. For those who are old, for those who are new, thank you for coming to listen to us. We hope it's been as enjoyable and interesting for you as it has for us.
Yes, exactly. Well done, James. So that's why I keep James around, everybody.
Yeah.
Because when I struggle, he picks me up and he just takes over. And that's what I need. That's what I need
run
him
with
to
the
do.
baton, or whatever the hell the term is.
Yeah, exactly. So social media, follow us at Codswallop Pod. I'm going to start doing this at the end of the episodes now, I think, because, people, we never promote ourselves really, do we? Apart from called the episode.
Yeah.
The big one is if you have got YouTube and you could go over and follow us and, click that little bell for the new episodes to, get a little notification. That would be amazing. So yeah, at the moment we've got probably about 22 followers on there, so which obviously is not big numbers, but thank you for those 22 people as well. I mean, I'm one of them, so it's I don't know quite how that works. But obviously we can't, until we get like at least 100 subscribers, we can't do anything about the name. So it is lots and lots of different numbers and letters and whatnot. So yeah, just onto YouTube and type in Talking Codswallop Podcast. You should find us. So
excellent.
Yes.
Excellente.
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. And also another last thing as well, the intro music's going to be, the intro for our show is going to be changing very slightly, James. I've decided to take off the people who are talking at the very beginning. So it's just going to be the music now.
Cool.
Yes. I hope you're on board with that because I've just dropped that on you. So
no, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's our 4th year. So I just think, we could maybe be a little bit more grown up. So
yes.
There you go. Right. Well, in that case then, James, I think that we've been talking enough women in horror codswallop this week.
No, I would agree. I'd agree.
That was easy for me to say. As always, I have been Gemma.
I am still James.
And we are Talking Codswallop Podcast. Woohoo!
Damn right we are.